Hey guys, Saga here, and today's video is going to be a little different. So, as some of you may know, I live in Taiwan, and Taiwan is a part of Asia. So for ping reasons, I often play on the Asian server. But there's also a secondary reason I play on the Asian server, and that's because I want to learn Mandarin, and I can use all the practice I can get. It's very helpful for me to hear something on a microphone and then see somebody write something about it. They don't have to necessarily write and say the same things, but it's helpful because I get to hear what the word sounds like pronounced, and then at the same time I get to see the character on screen. And then if I want, later I can go ahead and look up that character. This is extremely helpful because Chinese is nothing like learning English. In English, if you heard a new word you didn't know, didactic, you could go ahead and then sound that out. And by sounding it out, you could in turn look it up. And where you could look up something by sound in Chinese, it gets a little bit more difficult because you might have misheard. And coming from America and English being my first language, my ears aren't always perfectly in tune for Chinese tones. And there's a difference between saying a word in Chinese like ba, or ba, or ba. Those are all different words. And as a result, you might mishear something, it's through a microphone, it could be a little sketchy, and if you want to know what they're saying, it really helps to have it in writing. So I've been using Playing on Asia as a tool for me to learn more Chinese. But one of the biggest problems is that I often run into words like I don't understand in the context of the sentence. And a lot of the time, it's because they're names, like the proper nouns for the characters. So I finally broke down and looked up all of their names in Chinese. And I already figured out some of them from playing in game, but I didn't figure out them all. And I thought I'd talk to you about what they mean and why some of them are kind of a little funny and why I really like a lot of the Chinese names. So let's get into it. Soldier 76 is Shebing 76. And basically that just means Soldier 76. Nothing interesting there. Moving on. Reaper is Sishan, and that transliterates to something like Death God or Death Spirit, but it also directly means in Chinese like just the Grim Reaper, which is pretty much, that's what Reaper is. Farah is a bit interesting because it's just like the characters they chose for the name don't really mean anything significant to the character, as far as I know. But instead it's just like trying to capture the sound of saying Farah. Fa La. Genji is Yuan Shi. And I don't really know what this means. It could be a direct translation of Genji from Japanese, but I don't know why they chose these characters. Tracer is Shang Guang. And that translates to the Flash. So Tracer is the Flash in Chinese. Alright, McCree, we've got another trying to capture the English sound of the word. We've got Mai Ka Li. Mai Ka Li is McCree. And it's funny, if I'm speaking English to somebody else who's speaking English on Asia, and they want to tell me something about McCree, and I didn't understand the name, and this happened a lot to me before I looked up the names. People would spell McCree like M-A-C-A, like they would try to spell out Mai Ka Li, because, they don't know his name is McCree in English. Sombra is Hai Ying, which might be a really clever name when you think about it, because it kind of sounds like hiding, right? Hai Ying. Oh, that is clever. And then on top of that, Hai means to astonish, to startle, or to hack, and Ying means picture or image. I'm sorry, Ying has more meanings. It means like picture, image, reflection, shadow, like that's all really cool. So it's like to hack a shadow, or like shadow hack or something like that. That's a freaking cool name. Hack shadow. Hanzo is Ban Zhang, and I have no idea why his name is that. To conceal, to hide away, I don't really get it. Half? Ban means half, but I don't know Zhang. It says here to conceal, to hide away, to harbor, to store, to collect. Not really sure on the transliteration there. Not really sure on the translation either. I don't really know why they chose this one for Hanzo, unless, again, it's a direct translation from Japanese. You'll notice that the Genji didn't make sense. Maybe that's also the reason Hanzo doesn't make sense. That could just be like the kanji to spell Hanzo, which would make a lot of sense too, right? Obviously, the kanji in Japanese would be a different word in Chinese. Bastion is a very large... Bastion is Bile Ji Bing, which is something like a wall or a barrier. Yeah, like a rampart or like a base which makes sense. Like a bastion is like a rampart protecting you from something. And Ji Bing is machine soldier, so he's like a wall or a rampart machine soldier. I like that name. That's cool. It's freaking too long, but it's cool otherwise. I hear a lot in games that they abbreviate it. If a name is more than 2 characters, they usually just say like the 2-character version of it. So most of the time in game, what I'll hear is Bile, and that's supposed to mean bastion, you know. Bastion with the urgent connotation of you should kill that or watch out. Widowmaker is Duoming Nu, to seize, to take away forcefully. Alright, so her name, Duo, is to seize or to take away something, like by force. And Ming is life or fate, so it's like to take life or to take fate. She's like basically like, she's a killer, alright? And Nu just means she's female, so it's like killer woman, I guess? Killer woman. Mei is really simple in Chinese, it's just Xiao Mei. That's a super common Chinese name thing. Like a lot of girls will be Xiao Mei, or like Mei is like beautiful. Torbjorn is Tuobi Ang, which is again another trying to capture the Swedish name. By the way, the Swedish for Torbjorn, Tor means Thor, and Bjorn means bear. So he's Thor Bear, which is kind of cool. Thor Bear. Yeah, not really a big fan of the Mandarin here. I'm gonna stick with Thor Bear. Alright, so Junkrat is Jia Dan Shu. And that pretty much means bomb rat. In Mandarin, they like to make a lot of things like exactly what they are. Like with no messing around, no nuance, it's just bomb rat. That's Junkrat. I like it. D.Va in Mandarin is D.Va. Moving on. Roadhog in Mandarin is Lan Lu Ju. And that translates to something like to block your way? To block your way, pig, I guess. Zarya looks like another attempting to capture the sound moment. We've got Jia Li Ya. There is some meaning here, like there's some like feminine references, one of the words means like jasmine, and another means like elegant. I don't really understand the first character as far as what it would mean for a name. Again, trying to capture what her name sounds like. Winston. Winston in Chinese is Wen Si Dan, and that means Winston. It's just the name. Reinhardt is pretty cool. So they've got Lai Ying Ha Te. So it's like, I think it's meant to sound like Lionheart. So in Chinese, people will call Reinhardt Lionheart for short. So originally, when I didn't know what his Mandarin name was, I'd be like, what does Lai Ying mean, you know? And they'd be like lion, like Lionheart. Like I would get it, like when they said Lionheart. I really like that name, like Lionheart really fits for him, and plus like his armor, like what else would you call him in Mandarin? That's clearly like a good translation job. Mercy's name is Sibei, and that just means mercy. Zenyatta, we've got another name trying to sound like the English. Chanya Ta. Chanyata. No, Chanyata. That's it. Third one. And his name means... Okay, so the first character is a character for Zen, like Zen Buddhism meditation type thing. The second character is the same Ya that's in Asia, or Asian. And Ta means like pagoda or tower. I guess that makes sense. Like, he's like Zen Asian tower. Yeah. Lucio, another trying to capture the sound of the English name. We've got Lucio is Lucio. A little bit of cleverness in the name. The Shio part means Western Europe, because Lucio is, I suppose, from... Where is Lucio supposed to be from? So Lucio's name seems like a bit of a lost in translation moment, because like they use some interesting characters, like Shibanya Yu means Spanish, and they use the same she as they do in that. So maybe because he speaks Spanish, because he's from Rio de Janeiro, but obviously, you know, like it's also the same she as used in Spain, but he's not from Spain, so they could be a little confused there. Shio also means like Western Europe, which doesn't make sense. Although he is international, so maybe there's some slack to be cut for the translation team there. I'm not really sure on this one. Symmetra is Shinmei Ta. And I don't really get this one again. She's got the same Ta like that Zenyatta has, which meant like tower, so I guess she's New Plum Tower would be the transliteration for her name. New Plum Tower. I like it. I feel like it's kind of generic though. Like New Plum Tower is interesting, It's an interesting, weird thing to say. But like plum is just something that they use for girls' names. I don't know. It seems like pretty generic Chinese translation. Not as happy with this one. Anna's name? Get ready for this. Anna. Yeah, okay. Alright, I hope you guys learned something. If you are learning Mandarin, you're playing on the Asia server, but you're not great like me, this is a great way to learn some new words, learn some new characters. I'll leave a link to the Wikipedia link in the description. Also, we just released a channel launch trailer. You can check that out here. Or if you prefer something more analytical, check out my last May guide. It's about how Seagull likes to defend Hanamura. And you can find a link to that here. Alright guys, I'll see you next time.